Hi, welcome to my channel. So let's get painting. Let's paint this gorgeous red hibiscus today. So I have this 12 by 12 inch canvas board on which I have put a layer of yellow ochre mixed with white and a little bit of red for the base coat. And then on top of that I've sketched out my flower. And let me quickly show you the colors I have. This is deep magenta, sap green, hooker's green, bright red, scarlet lake, crimson lake, deep yellow, this is permanent orange, cadmium yellow, medium, lemon yellow and white. So I'm mixing up some deep magenta, a little bit of the hooker's green, a little bit of the sap green and some of the scarlet lake. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint in the middle of the flower. This is just the base coat. Almost dry brushing it in. And now I'm going to put some crimson. It will mix with that base coat of magenta and the other colors that I had put. Dipping my brush in a little bit of water so that paint flows. I want it streaky. This is the crimson lake. I'm getting some of the scarlet lake and streaking that in. Scarlet lake and the brilliant red mix. This is just the base coat. Picking up some yellow just to differentiate this petal. This is a yellow deep, just to make a mark that this is a separate petal. I'm mixing in some crimson here to deepen this area. Getting in the yellow deep. Getting my bright red and scarlet lake and stroking it in. Dipping my brush in water so that the paint flows. Getting some of the crimson here to deepen it up. Getting my yellow deep to demarcate this petal. Yellow deep and orange mix. And then the reds. Getting some crimson here, the deeper color. A little of the crimson, and I'm going to mix it with a little bit of the magenta to deepen the color up and paint it in here. And now I'm getting the yellow and the orange mix, and I'm going to demarcate this petal. Yellow deep. Getting in some cadmium yellow here, lightening it up here a bit. Getting some of the crimson color. And now the reds. Mixing it with some orange here. Streaks of orange. Getting the red. This is the bright red and the scarlet lake. The crimson color. I'm not really washing my brush, so the colors are in my brush. It gives a nice streaky effect, which hibiscus flowers do have. Picking up the cadmium yellow and streaking that in. Cadmium yellow. I haven't washed my brush, so lots of the reds are there. Picking up more cadmium yellow. I've sketched out my flower as usual with watercolor pencil, so I'll get dark colors here and there. Cadmium yellow. Mixing up the cadmium yellow with the orange and the yellow deep, drawing out this petal. I like that streaky effect. I'll keep it, most of it anyway. I've taken a smaller flat brush. This is number 0. I want to give some squiggly edges. Picking up some yellow, cadmium yellow, and the yellow deep. A little bit of the cadmium yellow. Some lemon yellow. Some of the bright red. A little bit of the crimson and bright red mix. The orange, the deep yellow with a little bit of the bright red. Picking up the orange, some cadmium yellow, and the orange mix. The scarlet lake and the bright red mix. Taking a little bigger brush, it's the filbert number 4. So I'm picking up the 2 red, the scarlet lake and the bright red. Picking up a little cadmium yellow. Gotten the smaller brush, just to put that in here. There's the yellow deep. And then I'm going to get the crimson and deepen up this area because this petal is behind this petal, so there will be shadow. Picking up the red and then some cadmium yellow and the yellow deep. Put some streaks in. The orange mixed with cadmium yellow. Some of the bright red, some crimson, some crimson streaks on this one. Some of the orange mixed with the red. I want to brighten up this area a little. Lemon yellow. Picking up some of the orange and the bright red. Some cadmium yellow and deep yellow. Bright red. Yellow deep and orange mix. Getting some of the cadmium yellow. Cadmium yellow, and I'll mix it with a little bit of white, increase its opacity. Lemon yellow, cad yellow and the orange mix, and then the lemon deep, the orange and the cad yellow. Little bit of the scarlet lake. Scarlet lake and orange mix. Cadmium yellow. Getting the crimson. And then some lemon yellow and cad yellow. Let's brighten up this area. Lemon yellow, cad yellow. Some of the orange. Orange and cad yellow mix. some of the orange and the bright red. Layering colors, getting some of the red, some crimson and red mixes, some cadmium yellow, orange and yellow deep mix, getting the orange and cadmium yellow, cadmium yellow, some bright red, some crimson, some of the orange, cad yellow, crimson, the orange, get some crimson, some red, some orange, red and crimson mix, cadmium yellow and yellow deep and orange mix, some orange, some lemon yellow and some white, orange and yellow, yellow, and then the crimson, the orange and the yellow, cad yellow and the orange, crimson, the red streaks of it, red and orange mix, I've got some of the white there, just creating these pinkish tones, some white, white, and then the orange, brightening up the edges of the petal. Adding some yellow highlights. Yellow highlights on this. Orange. Orange and red mix. Adding back some crimson. Alright, I've got some lemon yellow mixed with white and a bit of cad yellow mixed. I just want to give little squiggly little edges here. I watered down the paint quite a bit so that it flows. I'm going to mix some orange here. Mixing some of the scarlet lake, toning it down a bit. Some of the orange, getting some of the crimson for a darker shade, and just brushing it in here and there. And then I'm mixing the magenta and the crimson to create some veins, watering it down. I'm going to take the magenta and I want to give it just a little bend here and a darker shade at the edge to demarcate this petal, and that is creating a shadow here. Blend it out with using your finger. I like to blend it out using my finger. Taking the yellow and the orange mix, needs a little white. Getting a little of the orange, actually the yellow deep. Sort of creating this whirly effect. Getting some of the crimson, creating some shadow here. And then getting my orangey yellow. Taking some of the magenta and a little bit of the crimson, I'm going to create a shadow here too. And then I'll get the bright red and stroke it in to tone it down a little. And then the brighter red. That's the bright red. A little mix of crimson here to deepen the shadow here. Little magenta mix. Little of the brighter red. Mixing some orange with it, getting the orangey tone. Little hints of orange even in the shadow. So I've got this interesting fluorescent colors. I'll show it to you. These are the fluorescent colors. Looks like pink, but it's named red. All these are reds. These two, and I've got a yellow. I'm going to try it on. This is the first time I'm trying it on. Let me see what it looks like. I'll just put dashes of it here and there just to brighten it up. I'm mixing it with my regular color. I think it adds a nice dimension. Putting some red in it to tone it down. Some of the red and a little bit of the luminous color here. Taken some crimson, and I want to add a little shadow here because the petal is sort of curled in there, and I want to show that. Maybe add a bit of magenta to deepen the color a little. Repeating the process here. Some yellow. Veins on this one. Taking the crimson, add some magenta to it. Crimson and magenta gives me a nice dark color. Adding some water for it to flow. Add some red. This is a larger filbert brush. Taken some crimson there. A little of the bright red. Subtle color variations. Mixing my yellow and white and giving edges here. Little squiggly little edges which you often see in hibiscus flowers. I'm getting in some of the orange, just a little bit. This is the luminous yellow color. Beautiful, isn't it? This creates lovely effects. I'll add some red to it. Scarlet liquid. The thing about painting is the layers. It just adds so much beauty. You just play with it until that's what I like to do. Mixing some of the yellow deep and the crimson to create a darkish color. I want to put an edge on this petal as well, so a little bit of white and lemon yellow. Maybe add some cad yellow. A little white. A little of the medium yellow here. White and medium yellow. Getting some of the red. This is the bright red, and then I'll get some of the crimson. Adding a little magenta to the crimson. I'm going to add some of the luminous colors now, just to add a few touches here and there. Adding a few more touches of the luminous color with a bigger brush. I'm losing some of the veins, so just adding a little bit. So let's make the stamen now. I've got some yellow deep. I'm adding a little white because yellow is so transparent. I put some lemon yellow as well, some cadmium yellow deep, adding some of the orangey yellow deep, the base here. And then the cadmium yellow deep. I'll have to wait for that layer to dry until I can put more layers on top. So in the meantime, let's get on to painting the bud. I'm getting some of the deep magenta. I'm using a small synthetic flat brush, the size 1. I'm mixing some of the yellow deep with my bright red. And I have white in it. Added some more of the red. Little magenta and red mix. Adding some yellow to the mix, putting streaks of it. Some of the orange. Right, I've mixed some bright red, yellow and white. Taking some red. Mixing a little orange into it. Getting the cadmium yellow. Mixed a little cadmium yellow deep with white. I want to give some shadings. Mixing a little red with it. I've put more red and white here to give it a more pinkish tone. Mixing a little white and yellow. Mixing a little white. Some magenta and white mix. I haven't washed my brush. I put some lemon yellow. Mixing a little white with it. Alright, putting some of these pollen in. I mixed yellow and orange, and there is some white in it. Adding some white to it. Mixing some yellow deep and white. Adding the white and yellow and giving streaks of it on the stamen, just to give it dimension. Adding some yellow. I'm going to take some of the magenta, deep magenta, and just give it a thin outline so that it stands out. Adding back some of the magentas which I lost here. So let's work on the greens now. I've got some phthalo green and I mixed it up with hooker's green, creating a dark base color. Mix up some white and a little bit of yellow. Added more yellow to it. Added some magenta into the green to darken it up a little. So this is what I'm going to do for the rest of the leaves. So I've painted all the background in. I have used phthalo green and sap green mix for the leaves, just the base coat, and the dark areas are deep magenta. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in the details of the leaf. So I've mixed up some phthalo green and medium yellow, and I'm going to start brushing it in. I'm using a filbert brush. The number is number 4. I just use some watercolor pencil to draw out the leaves. Putting some phthalo green here for it to be a darker shade here. Sap green and yellow mix. Getting the phthalo green and then the sap green, and then I'm getting the phthalo green on this one. Sap green and yellow mix. Getting a smaller brush. This is a number 2 filbert. Sap green and yellow mix. This one. This leaf is sort of turned inwards like that. Getting some plain sap green to darken up this area a little bit. Mixing some yellow in. I've mixed some phthalo green, so the inside of the leaf. And I'm going to add a little magenta to it just to darken it a little bit. And then phthalo green for this one, a little magenta, deep magenta, as if this leaf is in the background. Some phthalo green here mixed with some yellow, sap green and yellow. I'm getting some phthalo green. Getting some magenta and the phthalo green plus a little sap green. using yellows and lighter greens to put some highlights, the sap green and the yellow. Variations of greens, adding some of the phthalo green here. And then the sap mixed with a little yellow. Sap and yellow. I've got some chrome green, which is a brighter green. I'm going to add dashes of it here and there. Adding some yellow to it. Sap green. So I'm ending part 1 of this painting video here. I'll finish the painting in part 2, so watch out for that, and bye for now. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and do comment below and tell me what you think of this painting so far. So okay, see you. Bye.